I'm about to show you how I was able to get this mix to sound from sounding like this to sounding like this. Alright, welcome back. This is video number 2. We're going to be talking about modern vocal mixing techniques. And the reason why every time you try to mix vocal, you fail. And I've been on that boat too. So now I'm about to give you everything you need to get up this boat. So this video this stuff that I showed you earlier, if you can see, we have the high, mid, low, left and right. And I have a crossover 160 Hz, 3.5K, and 20K. So let's talk about this. The reason why you've been trying to mix vocal but it's not working out for you. There are two type of students that I meet every time I do a one-on-one. I have a one-on-one on my website. You can go check it out if you're interested. So there are two type of student that I work with. The producer, they record artists. Some of them, they record an engineer. Some of them just produce artists and they want to mix it themselves. And the other student is the artist who just buy beats online and wants to mix the vocal to the beat and release the song. So let's cover the artist first, because the artist, their problem is a little smaller compared to the producer. Most of the time, when an artist buy a beat in this day and age, you buy the beat online, you have 2 tracks, left and right, stereo, you don't have the stems. If you have the stems, that's good. I'll prefer you get the stems, but if you can't get the stems, so how do you mix your vocal to a beat and make them actually marry each other? Because the problem that most people go through, that I was going through, is either you mix the vocal, it's detached from the music, it's way too loud, it's like, in your face. Did that scare you? Don't worry. And the second one is you mix the vocal, is way buried in the music, you can't hear it. Like it's drowning, trying to come out like, I can't hear him. So the video 1, we talk about colors. If you've done that, go watch that video number 1, and put whatever I told you on your mix bus, because that will help everything going forward. Now, fire up your DAW again, because we're going to be working with the DAW right now. Fire up your DAW again right now. The vocals that you have, group them into a bus. Doesn't matter how you do it, just do it. If you don't know how to do it, go on YouTube and watch a tutorial. It's easy stuff. Make sure all your vocals, they're all going through one output. It could be an aux or a group. So they're all going through this particular vocal bus before they hit your mix bus, which we talk about in video 1. On this vocal mix bus, I want you to put the same thing that we put on the mix bus. Saturation plugin or distortion, anything that has color, 5 to 10%. 2, put it in there. And put another, you could put another multi-band compressor in there, and an EQ just in case. So now, most of the reason why when you mix your vocal, you don't get it to sound right is because, number 1, your vocal don't have enough color. Number 2, there is no space for your vocal in the music to stand out. So the concept is, if you have a plug-in, a frequency analyzer, put it on your master bus and solo the lead vocal and see where the frequency is hidden on the lead vocal on your span. Span is a frequency analyzer. If you don't want span, using another frequency analyzer that you have. And just pay attention to what those vocals are sitting. It could be around 1K, around 2K, 3K, or it could be around 400, 300 area, or it could be around 7K, 10K. You're gonna see, because vocals always have, 3 spots. Some vocal have 2 spots, but usually they should have 3 spots. Something in the mid-range, something in the lower mid, and something in the highs. If your vocals don't have that, use an EQ to boost something, all the 3 parts. Something in the lower mid-range, I give you frequency to work with. Like between 150 to around 500. That's your low mid right there. And the mid-range between 700 to 2.5K or 3K. In fact, probably between 700 to 3.5K. Something in that range, your vocals should be there. And the highs, something from 5K upward. 5K, 6K, 7K, 10K, something like that. And in video 5, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how I do this with the mix that I'm working with, so you can see how I do it. So I'm just giving you the concept to kind of give you the foundation. So once you do the vocal bus, you put the color saturation and all that stuff in there, then figure out where is this lead vocal sitting frequency-wise. Once you figure that out, then figure out where your beat is sitting in frequency-wise. So the first one I've asked you to do is the mid-range. What is going on in the mid-range between 600, 700 to 4,000? I want you to make sure that between this range, the vocal and the beat, they are not clashing. Because most of the time, the beat has something in the mid-range that's overpowering the vocal. So what you want to do is find a spot in the beat where you can dip down so your vocal can poke through. That's the concept. Once you do that right now, you'll be able to see the difference. Like, for example, let's say your vocal is hitting around, the mid-range area is hitting around 1.5K. 1,500, right? Or 2,000. Then you go into your beat. You put an EQ on your 2-track stereo beat and just dip it down. Maybe like 4 dB. And just dip it down. Don't make it too wide, maybe a little bit narrow. And just dip it down and listen to it. And pull it down. And your vocal will poke through in that mid-range. And you try to do the same for the highs. For the highs, I'll make the cue tighter. Then do the same for the highs and do the same for the low mid. Just a little bit, don't go too crazy, just a tiny, tiny notch to kind of dip the music so your vocal can poke through. So, or you could just do the mid-range and the highs and leave the low mid, because sometimes the music needs something in the lower mid to kind of drive the groove of the song. So lower mid, I'm talking about 500 downward. So experiment with that, and by the time we get to video 5, I'm actually gonna go into my DAW and you're gonna see how I do this, real life application of it. So this is the end of video 2, and actually I want you guys to join my Facebook group if you have any questions, or we can keep the conversation going, or if you want to get on a one-on-one class with me, I'll probably put a link on this page or somewhere, or go to my website, GSO Production, and just look for it. So this is the end of video 2. Bowman Solomon, Make Better Sound Record.